I'm Brit Taylor, and I sing country music.
Waking up ain't easy. It's hard enough just breathing. Without you, I can't face another day.
I wrote Waking Up Ain't Easy in the notes of my phone where I keep all my song ideas. That's the only thing I wrote down was Waking Up Ain't Easy. I'm normally a morning person. I love mornings. I am one of those weirdos that can get up at 6 a.m. on my own. I love getting up, making my coffee, and coming out to the front porch and reading a book with my dog Whiskey. But in November of 2017, I found out that waking up was not easy for me anymore. I would still wake up really early, and I would wake up happy, and then I would remember all the things that I was going through, and I just wanted to lay back down and sleep forever. A few months later, Dave Brainard, my producer, came out to the house, and we were trying to find something to write about, and that title popped up and just kind of floored me. I just remember how real that feeling was. I told Dave the story behind why I wrote that in my phone, and he was all about it, and he wanted to write it, and we finished it pretty quick, and then within a few weeks we were in the studio recording.
Waking up ain't easy. It's hard enough just breathing. Without you, I can't.
Hi, can you hear me?
Wow. Yeah, I can see you and hear you. What about you?
Yeah, I can see and hear you now.
Look at that. Look at that beautiful nature behind you.
Yeah, I got my buddy down here with me. That's Whiskey.
That's Whiskey. Look at he's not happy. He's like, why is mom's attention not on my belly? Oh my God, I love it.
He might snore. He's the king of naps.
So for the audio audience, Whiskey is the dog, and we're watching a beautiful dog just be lazy and beautiful. Oh my God! But Brit, to say that you're making waves in music is an understatement. We are so happy to have you. I can't tell you. Like seriously, Brit, I gotta tell you, we love your songs. You know, Brit, I'm so bummed out on crappy music that when you hear something good, you just gotta go and talk about it. I have to tell you, I used to be in radio here in Miami, and now I do this podcast. I have a responsibility to talk about good music when I find it. That's just my role.
I love that. That's awesome.
And Brit, and by the way, your album Real Me is on fire, but you don't need me to tell you that. Second most added in radio. First week it went, moving up the charts. It's all good stuff.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm really excited. It's just been a big whirlwind of surprises for sure.
Right, absolutely, Brit. But listen, you gotta tell me about this song. I love it so much. Waking Up Ain't Easy, right? It's from your upcoming album. But what I like about your story, and people should know this, especially in these tough times, life slapped you around a little bit there for a minute, right?
It did, and it hit extra hard because I feel like I've had a pretty great life, a really easy life, and I was just kind of strolling through and getting what I wanted when I wanted it, and then all of a sudden life said, no, you don't get anything, and we're gonna just tear your world apart because you're not where you need to be. So 2017 was
2017
a disaster, a much needed disaster, though. I needed to start over in a lot of ways, and I'm super grateful for that now.
I'm sure it's made you a better songwriter, tougher human, greater appreciation for all the little things, right?
Oh my gosh, yes, for sure.
I love it, Brit. Now, for the first single, great choice. I love that was the first choice for the single. Who decides who makes the first single, Brit? Is that you, or is that the label? Who decides that?
That is me. I actually don't have a label. How about
Okay. How about that? Even more badass.
I have my own. I gave myself a record deal. So it was me. I don't know. I just had this gut feeling that was the song I was supposed to release first to introduce the record, to introduce me.
Amazing.
And then the timing of it just seemed, I don't know. There's just a big gut feeling that said, hey, you need to do this now, and this is the song. And I just kind of went with it. I was really scared, but
nice.
It worked, I think.
It worked absolutely. So you wrote it with Dave Brainard, right? So when you write a song like this, Britt, with Dave, are you the main lyricist? Like, what's like the rhythm there?
So it just depends on what day it is, but with Waking Up Ain't Easy, Dave actually drove out here to my house. This is where I am now, on my front porch.
Yeah.
And
Oh, nice.
we were sitting in my little fireplace / dining / music room, and we were trying to find a. He's got to get comfortable.
Whiskey's being dramatic. You know,
Yeah.
I have a Yorkie, and they do these things, Britt, where like this whole dramatic productions, and all they do at the end is just rotate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
But we didn't know what we wanted to write about. All we knew is that we wanted to write something real and something country. And so I was scrolling through my phone for ideas. I write down ideas in my phone all the time.
Yeah.
And I came across a note that just said "Waking Up Ain't Easy," and it said the date that I had written it down sometime in November of 2017. And I was just like, "Whoa, that's heavy." And I'm like, "What? I don't know. Maybe it won't be relatable." But we didn't have anything else that we were both like jumping on. So I told him about it, and I told him why I had written it down, and he just loved it. And then we were like, we wanted to be like a Willie Nelson song, like a real country song. And
it's just cuts. It cuts through me, Britt. I can't tell you, because I was going to ask you if the lyric comes first or the melody, because the melody is so perfect. But now you just answered that. Yeah. And I know these are weird questions. I'm sorry, but I am a non-musician, so I always wonder about the process. I love asking, and my audience loves it. So
cool.
So thanks for that, Britt.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I want to ask you a few more questions about you growing up. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Awesome, Britt. When you were a kid in East Tennessee, you were up in East Tennessee.
Actually, East Kentucky.
East Kentucky, right. Apologies. It's
I
like
gotta get that one right, or my parents will be like, "What, girl?"
No. Apologies. East Kentucky. It's like, obviously you were born in Americana, so I feel like. But tell us, you mentioned your parents. Tell us about the type of childhood you had. I hear you grew up in nature, big land, family, all that good stuff.
Yes, which made it super hard to leave and move to Nashville. But I grew up like any normal kid, but on the top of a hill in East Kentucky. And I grew up singing in the Kentucky Opry in Prestonsburg. That's where my love for music just sprouted. And thank God for the Mountain Arts Center in East Kentucky, because country music is so rich in our heritage there. And nobody in my family played or sang anything. So, but my mom would hear me singing, and she took me to the Opry and started getting voice coach lessons and started letting me sing on stage. And so, yeah, I grew up singing a lot, and actually grew up doing martial arts.
Martial arts. There you go.
And
so you don't need a label, and you don't need a security team. You got all that covered.
Exactly.
Cool. That's great. And what are some of the songs that, like, when you were growing up, you mentioned the Opry, all this good stuff that, that made you be like, I want to do that? What are the songs that got to your core early on?
Oh my gosh. I loved Patsy Cline and Loretta Lynn and Patti Loveless. My folks, actually, they always listened to like 80s rock and roll, which I also love. I love Fleetwood Mac and all that good stuff. But it was actually my mom's dad, my papa, listened to bluegrass music, and he introduced me to Patti Loveless and Ricky Skaggs. And then they led me to country music, because they were kind of that crossover from bluegrass to country. And I just fell in love. Like, every time I got in the car, it was country music radio stations. All I wanted to do was play and sing music.
Yeah, there's something about, Patsy Cline and all these people that, like, man, I don't know, dude. It just hits you to your soul. It just like stays in there, It's amazing what they do. And you're doing it now. So good for you. Yeah. So let me ask you about moving to Nashville. You mentioned it was hard. But how old were you? You were 17, right? Like, didn't that just scare you, Britt? So impressive. Look, most 17-year-olds, they don't believe in themselves enough. Anybody's opinion can wreck them. How are you strong enough to just go for it and overcome all these things?
I don't know. I think I do a really good job at drowning out that little voice that says you can't do it, because I think that we all have it, and I have it a very strong voice in my head that says you shouldn't do this or you should go home. There's so many other artists that are doing this too, and what makes you think that you can do it? And I just shut her up and try
Nice.
not to listen. And yeah, moving away was super scary because I come from such a small town. So going from that to Murfreesboro, I moved out to Murfreesboro for school outside of Nashville. It was a big culture shock for sure.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just big city business people. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And you pursued a music business degree, right?
Yes, I did.
That was good. Smart.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun too, and it led me to meet a lot of people, and actually led to like my first job in the industry, which was a songwriter. So
Nice. At Spirit Music, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. You must have learned everything like a sponge.
I tried to. It was really a lot of fun.
Yeah, everyone's really nice in Nashville, right? Like, but the few times I've been there, everyone is just like people are not possessive about the knowledge. Everyone just wants to help, right?
Yes, it's very, I mean, it's a competitive industry, but it's also a family-based industry. Everybody wants to work together, and I think that's why you see like people rise up together, because you'll all of a sudden notice like this group of songwriters that have been friends forever. All of a sudden, they all get a record deal at the same time, or they all get a hit song at the same time, and you definitely rise up with your friends for sure here.
Oh my God, I love it, Brit. It's true about Nashville. Let me ask you really quickly. You're so good live, and we saw some of your stuff in research, and we loved it. But you recently joined Adam Chaffin for an intimate full band socially distanced show, and I'm like last week, basically. How did it feel to be back on stage, Brit?
Oh my gosh, my heart needed it. I didn't even know how much I needed it, but being with a full band again and getting the live people and hearing the applause when you get done, it's just, there's nothing like it for sure. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Has it been hard this year a little bit, just not being able to connect with your audience?
Yeah, it has been hard. It's also been nice to figure out different ways to connect and take a little more time to be a little more personalized with like the Facebook lives, because you can actually see the comments coming in and comment back to people and actually talk to people.
Yeah.
So that's definitely been helpful and handy throughout all of this.
I think so. I mean, yeah, that's great, Britt. I mean, I hear you're gonna play a song for us, but I wanna ask you also one more thing. You obviously worked a lot with Dan Auerbach, right? Obviously from the Black Keys. Just share with my audience, and my audience is mostly rock and roll, even though we do a lot of Americana and country. But tell us a little bit about working with Dan, as not as the Black Keys guy, but like in a professional setting.
Man, Dan is awesome. It's funny that you ask about you say that your audience is more rock based. I didn't grow up listening to a bunch of rock music, just every now and then with my parents, but it's not something like I dove into like I did with country music. I actually didn't know who Dan was.
Yeah. Okay. That's better.
His studio. And it was so funny because I had such a bad attitude. I feel like after I'd left Spirit and like all this bad stuff was happening, I just had a terrible attitude and was like, I don't care. Like, I'll do anything. I'll write with anybody, whatever. And then I stroll up to this, gated, awesome studio, and I'm like, uh-oh, I should have probably Googled this guy. And I get in there, and all of his Grammys are on the wall. But it was awesome. It was intimidating because I found out, everything that he did, but he wasn't intimidating. He was very, very supportive and very open, probably one of the most open people that I have written with, because he really wanted to figure out like the things that I liked and what kind of music I really wanted to make. That's great.
No, Britt, but I love it. Yeah. I mean, but even though my audience is like mainly rock, I've been shoving Americana. We had Judy Collins the other day. We're talking to Brandy Carlisle. We're getting you in here. Like, we love it. I'm sorry. Everyone's loving it. Feedback's been great. So, but yeah. Absolutely, Britt. So you have that beautiful guitar with you.
I do. I love her. She's an old Gibson. I will play you a song. I'm gonna see if I can't get this.
The sun. It's kind of cool in a way.
I know, it's like I did it on purpose.
It's like an Instagram filter.
I know.
Yeah.
I think it's just gonna stay. It's so weird.
Oh my God, that's so cool. Leave that, Ray, and we'll just put like a hashtag no filter on the video portion.
Let's see. Let's make sure I'm in tune.
So, Britt, can I give a great guitar player like you any guitar and you'll make it sound right? Or are you picky about, your baby Gibson, your special one?
I think that really great guitar players can make any guitar sound great. I don't know if I would call myself that person. I like to have a good guitar.
Okay.
It already sounds pretty great on its own,
Yeah.
We'll get it in tune here in a second. But this one's I've actually played a Martin for most of my life, and recently got this guitar, and I love it. It's so tiny and all right.
Nice. Beautiful guitar.
So let's see. I'll play Waking Up Ain't Easy since we talked a bit about that one.
Okay, great. Good. Love it.
And hopefully Whiskey won't snore too loud, but I can't make any promises. He falls asleep on this song. He just
Absolutely. And I just want to encourage people to add Real Me to your streaming platforms and just play it on repeat because it's just fantastic stuff.
Thank you. Hey son, please don't come. Coffee, don't bother filling my cup. Hey morning bird, don't go singing outside my window. Sweet dreams, please don't end, and let reality set in. Wanna keep my head laid down here on this pillow. Cause waking up ain't easy. It's hard enough just breathing. Without you I can't face another day. Waking up ain't easy. I could spend my whole life sleeping, 'cause in my dreams you're not so far away. Soon as my eyes open, my feet hit the floor. I look around, reminded you're not here anymore. Soon as my eyes open, my feet hit the floor. I look around, reminded you're not here anymore. Waking up ain't easy. It's hard enough just breathing. Without you I can't face another day. Waking up ain't easy. I could spend my whole life sleeping, 'cause in my dreams you're not so far away. Oh, 'cause in my dreams you're not so
far away.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable, Brit. What a song. I
Thank you.
feel like we got Emmylou Harris at the beginning of her journey, you know. I'm telling you, special stuff.
Thank you.
Of course, Brit, thank you. And thank you for your time. That was wonderful.
Of course.
Giving
Anytime.
us a piece of your Friday. Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Thank you.